Well, sorry, I didn't want to do this too early.
I had to check in for a doctor visit and they wanted me to check in the parking lot and it had no Wi-Fi, Bluetooth.
Oh,
And I'm sitting there, I was 20 minutes late because I couldn't check-in.
oh, I've gotten those, but it's been after I've already walked in and I'm like, I'll check it inside. I'm not checking it on my phone. Check it when you arrive. Well, you'll see me when I arrive.
And plus, supposed to do that, then we go in.
Okay, all right, we'll call the meeting to order. Pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public participation. Dave, I was just talking about you. I said, he's gotta be here. I only remember you missing one meeting ever.
It's like when you're out of time, whatever, and then there aren't that many lights from where I live. Like everyone's backed up and stopped 3 times before, and then coming in the driveway. It's not open.
I had a lot of traffic too. It was unusual
Yeah,
at this time.
something's going on north of Willard at certain times of day, so it backs up for blocks and blocks.
Anyway, I was talking about you, so.
All right.
Public participation, anything from our
I don't
liaison?
think there's anything new specifically related to the senior center at all. I know we probably had a question that might have us on the plan in terms of what's happening in progress with the aggregate units and so on, but you would have everybody.
You're gonna
We haven't
touch on
talked
that?
about it at the last. meeting.
See, there's really nothing.
Everybody's-
Oh.
Yeah, an update on it.
Oh, okay. Okay, approval from the meeting minutes. Anyone have any questions or corrections or comments? Okay. Staff report.
Okay, I'll start off with just some of our highlighted programs from May that were fairly successful. First, we had a coffee and conversation with the new police chief so that people could meet him, ask him questions, hear what his plans were for the department as the new chief. And that went over really well. And they did ask him a lot of questions. And I think it was really great for them to have the ability to put a face to the name and meet him so soon after he was hired on. So that went well. We also had a program called 12 Tips to Manage Anxiety. We had 40 people sign up for this program and attend, and a Yale trained doctor came and talked about it. And she's a very good presenter. I think that just is a sign of, you know, what's out there. A lot of people are anxious about a lot of things, and they wanted those tips to manage it. So it was very, very well attended. I will bring her back again for a different topic, but still, obviously, there's a need for that. And then because it was Older Americans Month, we just had a celebration, a fun celebration, the last day of the month with the Boomers, who are a 2-man band that one half of the band is local, lives in Newington. They played across the street at our summer concerts. And we had refreshments and it was just fun. It was a great afternoon. We had people up dancing, singing, because they were playing songs that, you know, everybody knows. And just a good way to wrap up the month and make a good point that the theme for Older Americans Month was powered by connection and how important it was to connect. And that was just a perfect way to do it because everybody was connecting in some way that afternoon and I think had a really good time. So those were highlights from there. I'll give you our budget numbers now, and then if Dave wants to give a budget update under old business, that's fine. But our coffee shop total right now is at $15,901. Gift shop at $50,760. 77. Membership, 64,376. Fitness membership, 23,666. Donations, 46,664, for a total of $201,384.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yes,
So, I know a lot of the programs you get here are volunteer, but there's also, I would assume, like, maybe the band you pay or the coffee you buy or things like that. Which of those does that stuff come out of? Does it come out of, the congregate altogether?
so yeah, it really does. So our donations that we receive, pay for our programs. Any money that is made off of the coffee shop or the gift shop goes into our program fund. Any fitness membership as well. So yes, it all goes into allowing us to pay for people to come in here, or pay for materials for a program or whatnot.
So I believe it covers everything that the town doesn't cover.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Barbara, so I have coffee shop, $15,901. And may I get the other numbers? I have the numbers, but the numbers of the
Yeah,
corollary.
I'll pass them over,
Thank you.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And
As a
Elizabeth
matter of
will
fact, I'll
put them
spend
in
the round of anyone that would
in
like.
the meeting notes.
copy, or- Is there more, multiple copies, Barbara?
There's not, no.
Okay.
No, but take a look at that, write it
May I
down.
take a photo, my device, or is that?
I don't think so. I think just, yeah, if you could just record the
Right,
numbers,
yeah.
that would be great.
You bet.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's all.
Old business, that would be, budget, I guess, it's not old, but
Dave, do you have any budget updates from the council? Not really.
Didn't change,
Yeah.
Now, it's gonna go. With that,
Yeah.
What, July 1st?
Yeah. Okay. And those numbers I gave, but the only update.
okay. New business, upcoming activities.
Okay, so June will be renewal time for membership, so I will update the letter. And we will send that out this month, in the next week or two, for people to renew. Some of our programs coming up for June include tomorrow, a lunch and learn on dementia and communication. We will have a Juneteenth presentation, not on Juneteenth, but on June 18th. Someone actually thought I put the wrong date in this because they said it's June 18th, but Juneteenth is June 19th. It's just the date the presenter was available. So he's a historian. I think it's gonna be a good presentation.
Plus the name is confusing, Juneteenth, it sounds like it's missing something.
It,
Is the town closed June 19th?
it's open still. Yeah, that's not a holiday for us yet. We have a sound healing and Reiki presentation. We have a super smoothies demo, which filled up like you can't believe, whenever you give away free food. It's great. We have some pickleball clinics coming up by a certified pickleball instructor, which will be helpful for the people that play, that want to learn more. And we have a couple craft classes, another AARP driver safety course. That's about it. Some of the highlights for June.
Was there the volunteer of the year meeting?
There was a meeting of one. Unfortunately, the whole committee could not meet that night. So Edward Noivo and myself talked about, he had gone through all of the nominations. And we talked about what we thought would be the best. I know they always take staff input for volunteer of the year. My recommendation, if the committee wanted to pick a group, was for the kitchen volunteers that are there on a daily basis to serve the congregate meal. But each of those people was also nominated individually. And if the committee wanted to pick one individual, I had recommended one person based on all that he does. So the consensus was, though, to pick all of them because they are there every day. And we actually do have more than just these 5 volunteers. There's another person that works one day a week, another person that works one, but I feel like it really should go to the group of people that come Monday through Friday and hardly ever miss a day of volunteering. So it's gonna go to the daily congregate lunch volunteers. Okay, I think they'll really appreciate it as well. So I will, send a letter out to them so that they know they are all, coming to the volunteer dinner, which is great, because you always want to have them there if possible to acknowledge that. But they are all coming and I will let them know tomorrow. Just wanted to wait until after the meeting today.
Do we have someone there to take a picture?
Yeah, we'll take a picture, with the phone and we'll make sure that we post it. We'll have a plaque, like we have for all of our others, on our wall of fame down the hall there.
It's just that sometimes it's hard to get them all together and then.
Well, that
it's
night
hard
they'll all be there.
And
so
they'll all
we'll
be
try.
dressed up,
Yeah.
so it'll be really nice.
Correct.
Nice time to get their pictures.
Is that something you want? To go out there, warming up, we have a council meeting next week, but you want us to mention that, or just hold on?
I'm not sure how it's been handled in the past, to be honest with you, Karen, do you know?
It's, in the past, oftentimes it's a surprise, but now we tell people so that they'll show up.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe afterwards you could announce it at a meeting.
To me,
Oh, after, you mean?
After they're announced. in-
After the volunteer dinner, which is next Thursday, that
Yeah.
would probably be an appropriate time.
obviously, say you discuss.
Okay, so, and then the next thing on the agenda is the volunteer dinner.
Yeah. So we have 40 some odd people that have RSVP'd. We actually sent out 125 invitations. That's a lot, but we have over 90 volunteers, so that's a lot of volunteers. We will make sure that we follow up with everybody that we have not heard from, because we do want them to come if possible. Make sure that they got their invitation. We are set with catering by Italian Gourmet. We ended up picking, We Treasure Our Volunteers theme, so that is our theme for the night. And our decorations that said will reflect that. So I think it should be a nice evening.
Question, do you need us to do anything for it or during it or before it, any of that?
No, so historically, the staff has done the setup and the decorations, we all stay and pitch in and get set up. So you are all just welcome to attend. If you haven't RSVP'd, please let me know, yeah. If you're coming or not, yeah.
I also was gonna, that was my next question, because I also got it, but I figured, yeah.
I can grab the list before you leave tonight and
Okay.
just check everybody off that I don't have an answer for. But thank you for offering, but it's something that the staff has done and it doesn't, more hands, or I think we have enough hands that evening. Thank you.
We can mention.
It's in the-
the date again.
Next Thursday, June 13th, 6 p.m. in the auditorium.
Is it chicken?
It's chicken. Of course it's chicken. I wish we had a budget to offer chicken, a beef and a fish or something, or a vegetarian.
Well, you know what? Maybe next year we can take some money out of one of the accounts and get something other than chicken.
Make it a little nicer, yeah, or a little different, I shouldn't say.
Little
nicer,
different.
Just different, yeah.
Do you need me to say something? I usually do because.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. All right. Building update.
So just two quick things, they did hire somebody to finish the windows. And it's really not the windows that are left, those have been taken care of, it's really, in some of the rooms, we have some glass blocks. And ceiling, if you look in our arts and crafts room and our, just trying to think, in the information and referral room, those have to come down and be replaced. So that new window company will be taking care of that. I don't have the start date yet, but that will move forward. And then as part of the townwide upgrade for the radio system, they were in this week to put in the wiring for a new controller for our radios, which, we use in our main office with our dial-a-ride drivers. Yes, Mark.
Barbara, how much is the cost gonna be to replace the glass blocks in the art and crafts room if it's not?
It was all part of a grant, it's something with the town. I honestly don't know the total, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Just a quick question, Barb, or the controls for the radios, because when I was here on Tuesday, there was lots of trucks here. So was that what they were doing,
That's what they were
or, because somebody mentioned that they were putting a security system in?
No, we've had a security analysis, but all those Norcom trucks that were here, were doing that wiring for the control system for the radios.
Oh, okay.
Did we get a report about the security analysis?
We do have a report, yes, and facilities is taking care of most of that. That is something that maybe we can do in the fall, go over that,
Okay,
the results of that.
yeah, there's a lot to do in the fall.
There is. They had made some recommendations. Some of them were minor fixes. For example, they recommended that we move the textile recycling bin from the side over to the corner, as it was blocking something and I'm not recalling what. So that was simple to do. Some signage that was posted, they recommended cameras because we don't have cameras. That's a huge expense, so that's not something that's been done, but anything that we could take care of right away has been taken care of. They'll be doing some fencing around our unit that's on the side of the building. They're already getting quotes for that. So facilities is really taking care of most of the things that we're on.
Is there any sort of grants we can look into for the cameras and things like that? Because most of the town buildings have cameras and things like that. So-
Correct, and so, that's something that facilities will look into if we need grant money or if that's something that town's gonna pay for. I'm not really sure.
Did the town get any grant money for security? Do you know? For security?
I don't think that's it, like, I don't think they just fill it out for in general, I think it's for certain, you know, like if they were looking for a grant for here, it would have to be filled out, you know, specifically for that.
It has to be inquired to.
Yeah.
Going to the state, it has to, we ask usually the state representative, sometimes the town manager, and they sometimes the person who looks for grants for the town, various different things. They'll look for them and see if they're available for specific use, and then it comes back. We can't just say, you want a grant, you have to search for it, if they're available at a certain time and there's a need. And like ask for it, if you search, see what's available.
I just didn't know if, a grant came in for security of town
They usually-
buildings.
Yeah, it does,
or
it's
It
not-
doesn't work like
Not
that.
quite like, yeah, they just don't pop up.
Well, I know they have to be applied for. I've
Yeah.
applied for grants. It's
Yeah.
not easy.
Sometimes at the end of the, just the way it works, at the end of the legislative year, for some reason, monies that weren't used or whatever I mentioned in, were informed, or the town managers informed, oh, there are grants open for this. But we have a small window that has to be spent before, you know, June. There are certain criteria, depends on whatever, and then usually, state rep, sometimes the town manager or all together. Will request it, but those only crop up. They find they have money that a surplus in some area.
I have a good feeling the town manager would be right on that.
I know.
Just a little inkling guy.
I mean, there's COVID money left.
She'll be all over that. Yeah.
They're gonna lose it if they don't use it.
It's just interesting because we were just in Turkey and every town, city or state building has a metal detector. You walk in and your phone goes here and your pocketbook or backpack goes here. Every building. And we have no buildings.
Well, our country is a little different. It's Turkey, right?
That's true.
It didn't seem that way, though. I mean, it is supposed to be, third world country, but I'll tell you, it was modern, it was clean, it was lovely. It was safe, you know, there's women walking out alone at night, mothers and children walking around, just was safe. But every building had a metal detector. It was just interesting. Anyway, could be the part of the world that it is. I don't know. But anyway, so that's why I was checking.
That's fine.
Has, is there really a need to, cause I mean, for me, it'd be unconscionable for someone to come into this building and commit an atrocity or to terrorize or to put the clients or the people here in harm's way. But if I understand correctly, it just seems that, what is security to append to Kathy's, Commissioner Sobieski's, question. Is it, how necessary is it? And what's our priority here? What's really our fundamental priority? To me, our seniors and our disabled come first. And how do you go about, for example, having them fill out a survey? Would you like security cameras? Let them, instead of having the board, ask them what they think, you know, give them a flyer, give them a.
I think it's a decision that the town will
Yeah,
make.
there's a
It
lot of
was-
legalities with that and things like that, you know. As
Correct.
much as we would like to think everywhere is safe, you know, people go into elementary school, people go into anything else. So I mean, I'm for the cameras myself, especially because we have them in town hall, we have them in all the other buildings too. I just think, you know, the town has legalities that they'll probably want to cover by getting the cameras.
Sure. Well, you said you have a security, you have an assessment.
Yeah.
So
Sounds like
obviously
it's
the
in-
assessment is making recommendations that will benefit and protect,
Mhm.
and stuff. So, you know, at least that's a starting point at that point in time.
It is, right.
So,
But where's, security cameras in that assessment? I'm just curious.
As far as priority goes, I mean.
Not as far as priority, but did they recommend it?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as a top priority
Oh, okay. Good.
and an expensive one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that, you know, that's just the nature of it. It's,
yeah.
we have nothing, so it would be probably the most expensive thing on that list.
And, I apologize, how much were we looking at around the ballpark figure?
No idea. That would be up to facilities, our facilities departments to get quotes for that.
Sure. And then we as commissioners, what are we looking at in terms of,
Well, I think it
anything over
falls on-
$1,000, correct?
I think it falls on the town.
It falls.
So it falls
the
on the
It
town,
doesn't, it
yeah.
doesn't fall on the money that's collected here at the senior center. That falls on the town.
You know,
You know, they should be protecting their buildings just as they protect the town hall. And they protected the police department and whatever, and they protect schools.
And library.
It's a town facility. The town is responsible for it, because God forbid something happens. You know, all the lawyers in the world,
Yeah, that's what I meant by liability is it covers
Yeah.
them to
it's,
have it. put up.
it's gonna be there.
thank you.
Okay, so the next on the agenda is determining the next meeting date and agenda. So we don't meet in July and August. So it would be September, the first Wednesday in September. So does everyone have it on their calendar? I'm sure. And the agenda, there's a few things I would like to add to it. I'd like to find out if we're getting any interest on our money that we have. I'm sure if you call, I forgot her name.
Jamie sent Janet an email
Oh, okay.
saying that somebody had requested that, so.
I mean, I'm sure she has it right
I
there.
don't know, we don't have an answer yet.
And then our system for, the doors, not cameras, but we had a sign-in system, so we knew how many people were coming in and out every day.
Yep.
And who they were and what they were coming in for, things like that.
Mhm.
And it was up to one of the town departments to find something or fix what we have.
Were they looking at a door, like a door tracking? Is that?
Yeah.
Part of, and that was IT, correct? I don't
Yeah.
know a lot about that. Don't know where we're at with that.
Well, that's why I said maybe we could put it on our agenda for the
Agenda.
fall.
Cause I think that if I remember right, it was like the counter is what you're, like the door
Yes,
counter.
door
But I thought there was some, I vaguely remember there was some, that IT looked at it. And it was just such an old system that wasn't really, isn't something that they could support. That they would have to look at updating or upgrading to a brand new system.
Yeah, and we supposedly were waiting for them to get back to us on what they recommend, because I think we bought that system. I don't know, is there anything else you guys would like on the agenda for the fall?
I just, I'm doing some research about some stuff and I'm looking into something, so if I could just have a moment of September. I'm not ready yet,
Yeah, okay,
so, yeah.
sure.
Anyone else? Mark? No.
Briefly, just, for the disabled, how are we doing? How are we doing with the disability population here in the center?
So anybody that is 18 years of age or older with a disability is welcome to be a member here. We don't specifically have programs for disabled, but they're welcome to join, whether it's the fitness center, come to any of our presentations, any of our activities.
That's part of what I wanted to discuss in September that I'm working on,
Okay,
to present to.
sure.
Because I know, Bill DeMayo, who's ADA certified or
I
something.
believe he's one of our.
Yeah, so he used to be on the commission and he has looked over the center and I think we're pretty ADA compliant here. So, but we have accommodations for if there's people in wheelchairs or with walkers or whatever program there is, they're welcome to come and there's accommodations for them if they need it.
Correct. We are a meeting place for a deaf senior group. They meet every Tuesday here. They come from all over the state.
Yeah.
They play bingo once a month. And so we just provide that space for them. They are all members as well, so they can join in if they'd like. They don't tend to. Obviously, the barrier of not being able to hear is difficult. But they are welcome at any time. They usually eat lunch in the cafe. They get it from the
Every Tuesday.
coffee shop every Tuesday, and Kathy knows because
Yeah.
she takes their sandwich orders. And they, they sit together so that
Yeah.
they can use sign language. Just trying to think if we have. So we don't typically have programs specifically for disabled. But we have people that are, 30 something that are disabled in here and 50 something. So there's not a lot of any one age group. Not that they can't, like I said, they're welcome to any of the programs that we offer. I would say the biggest thing that I'm aware of that they do is they'll want to use the fitness center, which they're fine. They just follow the same guidelines that any other member does. You have to sign up from their doctor and fill out paperwork.
Because I did have a question regarding, the ages. I don't know if you take that down upon membership, if you take it upon who is in what age group. I was wondering if you have those numbers for, our next meeting.
Yep, I can make sure that I do. We just run a report from the system to know what the ages are.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah, just
Okay.
have that for next meeting. I appreciate it.
Karen, Betty, there's something I'm familiar with called the peer recovery support specialists. And, basically, it's basically like a companion for people that, deal with, things of the mind, mental health and wellness. And I think that, moving forward, We need to empower people to not be, embarrassed of stigma. Okay, and, to be stigmatized by voices in the community. Hearing Voices Network is something that I'm familiar with. So I think, if I may, I'd like to talk to you, Commissioner, about, perhaps getting some similarities. I would love to help you. Not exactly sure what disability population you're talking about. But if the mind's not working, healthy mind and sound mind and a healthy body kind of thing. So this is the governor. So, if the mind's not well, then the rest of the body kind of goes with it,
So are you talking about having more programs for that type
I
of
think people just,
person
I think
or?
people are just sick and tired. Well, I should just speak for a certain population. I think that there's a population within, I think it's argued, I think that, a good, there's people that want to feel safe and comfortable in their own skin. It has to do with, many components such as, hearing, for example, things like PPS. Some people can't enjoy the Newington extravaganza because a firework goes off and they think that they look at it as a comorbidity. This is
Are you,
something.
are you looking to get more programming?
That's what I was
Oh,
trying to
absolutely.
get
Well,
out.
more programming, but I think to empower people in the community to realize that they shouldn't be afraid of who they really are or what they think or,
Because we don't do therapy here.
Right, that might be more Department of Health to get like an initiative in town, is what you mean, like to promote mental wellness.
sure.
Human services, maybe,
Yeah.
they have some stuff going on.
Right. And I would think that just in closing, that the peer recovery support specialist is something that they're encouraging to have in each facility. So that it's like an MSW, LCSW clinician. However, someone like the peer recovery support specialist will be able to do it on a volunteer basis and oftentimes, or would do it for a nominal fee. So it's just food for thought, and I'll leave it with that for now.
Thanks.
Thanks.
But you don't think that people were complaining that they came in here and they were?
Not that I know, but, I'd like to plant seeds. And food for thought, and see how it germinates and see what flourishes on.
All right, so September 4th is the next meeting. And let's see, we have public participation again. Any comments?
This is one thing I thought of, something we said in conversation. The town council, there's an update in terms of the town manager search. And it's ongoing. It hasn't come down to the point where the council itself will be whittled down, for lack of a better word, respect candidates. So, but it is ongoing. And I haven't been told that it's more than I think anyone else has been told specific people. Obviously, the subcommittee has some knowledge of that, but it's being handled in a similar to way that the last, not exactly, but a similar way the last search was done for previous town manager. There's a variation to it, but it hasn't come down to where we on the council have an opportunity to contribute the candidates before final decisions. So that's ongoing. I know you want to come back. I don't even know whether she will lie or not. But you need to do that.
Let's see, anything else? No? Anything else from any of the commission members?
I just have a random question, looking down at our agenda. Are we the first senior disabled center in Connecticut? Is that what that means? That we were the first one established?
No, fully accredited, the first in the state of Connecticut, fully accredited by the National Institute of Seniors.
Perfect, that answers my question. Thank you very much.
It's quite a process.
Yeah, well, yeah, any accreditation, so yeah.
Okay, a motion to adjourn.
So.
Second.
All in favor?
I.
Okay, so carried. Have a nice summer, everybody.
You all.
And you said you'll check, you'll be able to check us off for RSVP?
Oh, yeah, let me, actually, here, I'm gonna take stuff again. I'll just write it down instead of, okay, Lillian,
Yeah,
yes?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Kathy, is a yes,
Karen, yes.
and Heather, yes?
Thank you, I'm running down the hall.
Okay.
Get on the auditorium or at
Yeah,
UPC.
yeah, down straight and left.
Thank you so much.